this is take two. We don't normally get that, especially not in the army. Chief guest tonight, Chief of Defense Staff, the holder of the frontier of India, General Anil Chauhan Sahib, Madhav awardee, the person who has held India's flag high across the seven seas, our very own son of the soil, Vikram Mishri ji. The class of 2000 and the class of 2015, our alumni, members of the Board of Governors, Principal Ajay Singh ji, faculty, parents, and most importantly, my young friends sitting here in this OAT tonight, but who represent not only the future of Scindia School, but if I may humbly submit, the future of our great nation, Bharat. On every Founders' Day, this hilltop fort does more than a celebration. It comes alive. It comes alive with memory. It comes alive with meaning. And it comes alive with a spirit that binds us across generations. This day is not merely a date on our calendar, but it is a bridge across time. And it is a reminder that we are all travelers in a journey that began over 128 years ago. When my great-grandfather, Maharaja Madhavrao Scindia I, envisioned this institution, he did not envision a school alone, but indeed he envisioned a sanctuary for the soul. His dream was of building an academy where courage was nurtured, discipline cultivated, and character forged. And over the years, that dream has been brought into a collective by the generations of Scindians that have walked the ramparts and the hallowed portals of the Scindia School, witnessing the confidence that it breathes, the humility that it instills, and the leaders that it shapes. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed heirs to a very proud legacy. But we are also the trustees for the future. Now, when we see uniform, our eyes light up with a spirit of pride, a spirit of reverence, valor, and patriotism. But behind that uniform lies something even greater. What lies behind that is strong values and character. And those are the two very essence of the being of the Scindia School. They are very much the DNA that we seek to instill in every young ward that attends this home away from home. And if I may, let me take you back in history. Back in history to the age of the Marathas, where the Scindias have been always the first line of defense for the nation. My ancestor, Maharaja Mahatji Scindia, modernized India's army, put in place the latest level of training for thousands of soldiers, and equipped that army with the most modern artillery and weaponry. So much so that it pushed back the Afghan Ahmad Shah Abdali back into his home in Afghanistan. Brought about the dream of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj of Hindvi Swaraj by firmly planting the Bhagwa Jhanda on the ramparts of the Delhi Red Fort in 1771. And pulverized the British in the First Anglo-Maratha War with a decisive victory in the Battle of Vadgaon in Maharashtra in 1779. His vision and dedication created that Fauji-Hind, which brought together cultures, communities, and people to put together a united front against the aggressor. And I too share that emotion and that passion, and I recall very fondly my early days in school when I was an NCC Air Wing cadet in uniform, in blues, standing firmly, shoulders squared, hearing the piercing sound of the bugles. And with that discipline also came a sense of pride and a simple and profound understanding that discipline indeed is not a restriction. It indeed is liberation. Over the years, friendships with peers in the army have taught me that courage is not the absence of fear, but indeed it is choosing what matters more than fear. And therefore, when we see the olive green, when we see the navy blue, when we see the whites, they indeed, ladies and gentlemen, are more than uniforms. They are commitments to a nation and 140 crore citizens who sleep peacefully at night. And therefore, today we are honored. And if I may say so, General Saab, the soul of this ancient 6th century fort is aglow with your presence. She is an old soul. She is a soul that has witnessed battles since the 6th century. She is one who has stood firm against every invader. And she reminds us even today of our illustrious past, our promising present, and our clear and present future as India advances to Viksit Bharat 2047. Today we have the Chief of Defence Staff, General Anil Chauhan, and if I may use the phraseology, the sentinel of our armed forces present here today. A distinguished military career spanning over 40 years. And beyond his achievements and accolades, his life stands as a reminder to all of us that a nation is not merely built on wealth or weapons, but on values and vision, built on the character of men and women who choose service before self, who choose sacrifice before comfort, who choose duty before desire, and who believe that the true strength lies not in domination, but in protection, who believe in not what we can take, but who believe in what we can give. As a soldier of the 11 Gorkha Rifles, he's led from the toughest valleys of Kashmir to the frontiers of the East. A measured leader who lets planning and discipline speak for himself, a strategist and a writer, and even someone who is into art and philosophy. He's often called, and I quote, the general for all seasons, unquote. It's a privilege today to welcome amongst us General Anil Chauhan ji. And while I say that, let me also quote what he said once in his address to the youth. And I quote, instead of being glued to your mobile screens, step beyond the digital world and experience the living, breathing geography, history, and diversity of India. Something no amount of money can buy, and serving the nation becomes a journey of discovering it, unquote. In his book, named Ready, Relevant, and Resurgent, the transformation of our armed forces is explored through deep psychological insight and tactical brilliance. A striking example is the Pandavas' use of Ashwatthama's false death in demoralizing Guru Dronacharya in the Mahabharata, showing us all that strategy is beyond mere combat. His book blends tradition with innovation. The focus is just not on weapons, but on cultivating a mindset that is flexible, that is creative, and that is adaptive. It is a book that is not only relevant on the battlefield, it is relevant in our classrooms. It is relevant in corporate offices. It is relevant for startups. So all of you must remember, not only the triple R of Natu Natu, but also the triple R in life: ready, relevant, and resurgent. To be ready, not just with knowledge, but with the discipline to use it wisely. For a soldier, readiness means acting in an instant. But for you, it means being prepared for any opportunity that might arise. To be relevant means to make sure that you stay connected to the needs of our time, always able to change and adapt yourself. Our armed forces modernize constantly. And in your life too, you must never stop learning to adapt, or else you face the risk of becoming irrelevant. To be resurgent is what we teach at the Scindia School. To be able to fall, to be able to stumble, but yet to be able to rise all over again. When we have General Chauhan amidst us, we must recall Operation Sindoor, a mission undertaken by our nation just a few months ago. It was not merely a military operation. It was a message that when our soldiers strike, they do so with precision, with purpose, with principle, and with courage. To defend our sovereignty, to uphold justice, and to protect the innocent. The true definition of strength, Operation Sindoor, has drawn its name from our Sanskriti and our Sanskar. And it's an operation that symbolized life, symbolized dignity, symbolized resilience. Multiple terrorist bases were neutralized. Air Force stations across the border neutralized, without a single Indian casualty. A feat that required weeks of planning, advanced surveillance, and the courage of soldiers working in total secrecy under the leadership of General Chauhan Sahab. It was a response to the adversary. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, "Goli ka hum jawab gola se denge." General Chauhan has rewritten the playbook of the battlefield for all times to come. And therefore, students, take this as your inspiration. Greatness is not loud. It is steady. Leadership is not command. It is service. And true success is not measured in medals, but the lives you are able to protect. For a soldier, the enemy across the border. For you, the enemy may lie within. Doubts, fears, and temptations. If you are able to conquer those, there is no battle in the world that you cannot win. Today, we all face unseen battles. Stress, anxiety, peer pressure. But from the army, we learn that no battle is ever fought alone. Camaraderie saves lives. Values of loyalty, teamwork, and sacrifice are not reserved for those in uniform alone. They are life values, and their unyielding spirit lasts you throughout time. In the Bhagavad Gita, it said, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanira bhavati. When righteousness falters, a protector rises. And if you combine the curiosity of a soldier along with your capability to be able to rise, you will be unstoppable. Today, ladies and gentlemen, as we stand at the intersection of legacy and aspiration, let us ask ourselves, what is our duty? We must choose to live with purpose, choose service over self-interest, resilience over despair, and unity over division. Greatness, always remember, is not given. Greatness is chosen. So therefore, choose it in your classrooms, choose it in your friendships, choose it in your fields, choose it in your service to our nation. As General Chauhan has rightly said, and I quote, survival in today's battle space is not about being the fittest, but about being able to adapt, transform, and position yourself and seize emerging opportunities. To the chief guest tonight, to every soldier who keeps our tricolor flying high, and to every Scindian who carries this ethos in their hearts, I offer my deepest gratitude. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We now request our respected chief guest, General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Defence Staff, to give away the annual awards to the respective winners. May we request the principal, Mr. Ajay Singh, to kindly announce the awards.